I do not encourage nor condone any of the actions performed or products shown in this video. All of the videos are produced in a safe and controlled environment. Do not attempt to replicate any of the actions performed during this video.
Hello there my friends, welcome back to another video. If you're wondering what is wrong with my face, there's a pimple underneath this pimple patch and I decided I wanted to spare you the view of it. I've been practicing the piano basically all morning, which means I've been doing a whole lot of this and a whole lot of this too. And so I decided I needed some comfort, and so I will make and eat my comfort food today, and after that I will roll and have a smoke, because for some reason smokes after meals just hit different, and so I'm looking for that feeling today. And so first we need to go to the grocery store so I can pick up some ingredients, and I think you'll understand what I'm trying to cook as you see the ingredients getting added to my bag. Let's go. Alrighty, I am now back at home and I'm going to show you what I got, and also I'm going to assemble all of the ingredients that I need for this recipe. Salad, don't need it for the recipe, we just needed salad at home. We have a red pepper and a green pepper, teriyaki sauce, and some chicken breasts. Then we also need rice. I always use jasmine because it's my favorite one, and then just a whole lot of spices. And I'm going to make teriyaki chicken with peppers and rice, and it just is very good. It's very warm, I love the flavors, and so let's do it. Alright, so the first step will be to get the ingredients cut and organized. It's very simple. I'm just going to cut both of these peppers and then the chicken. So alright, now the peppers are cut. I like to chop them into smaller than not pieces. And now I'm going to chop the chicken breasts and then we'll start on the stove. Alright, now the chicken is all cut too in a little bit bigger than bite-sized pieces. And I'm going to start 2 sautés at the same time. For the rice, it's pretty simple. I just saute some onion and garlic in olive oil and butter. Then I lightly fry the rice a little bit, and then I add double the amount of water. Then I add it of rice, stir it, put salt on it, leave it for 15 minutes in minimum heat, and then at the 10-minute mark I just fully turn the rice off and let it steam with the lid closed. And for the chicken is also quite simple. I just saute it with garlic, onion, olive oil and butter. I let it gain a little bit of color, and when the color starts appearing I just dump the peppers on it, as well as some seasonings like cumin, a little bit of curry if I'm feeling fancy, pepper, salt, and then I just let it saute all together, and then it's time to serve. Hello there my friends, here she is. I'm going to eat now by the windowsill. To drink I will have some water. I'm not very much of a juice person, so I mainly choose water to drink when I resist the urge to get energy drinks. And now I'm going to see if it's any good. It tastes very peppery, tastes very teriyaki, and it's just what I wanted. It's just what I needed, and I'm so excited. I'm going to eat all of this, and then I'm going to have a smoke, which I rolled. And if I may be honest, I'm getting a lot better with my rolled cigarettes. I rolled this myself with my own 2 hands. No machines were used. Do you see that? Do you see the improvement that has gone on? I would say this is not the best one I've made, because the chicken could be a little bit more toasty, but it's pretty good. And I just love the texture that the teriyaki sauce leaves, the sort of slimy texture. It's not a liquid sort of sauce, it's more like slimy really. I don't know how else to describe it. And the rice is just on point. I feel like I have figured out my rice technique quite well. It was my dad who taught me. Alright, this tastes very good. I'm going to eat the rest of it while I watch some YouTube, and then we'll have a smoke by the window. Alrighty ladies and gentlemen, I am finished with my lunch, and I think I've just heard my dad come out of his gaming chamber to eat something, and so I'm going to check what he's thinking of the teriyaki chicken. Let's go!
Então, ouvi dizer que estavas a comer o meu frango.
Estou, muito bom, obrigado. Yeah. Podes fazer mais vezes.
It is very good to know that my food is being well enjoyed. I am now going to light my incense. I always like having incense going in my room whenever I'm smoking by the window, just to cleanse the smell of the space and also my aura. Maybe it does cleanse my aura a little bit. And now I'm going to see if my creation here is any good. I'm actually very proud of my progress. I don't know if you guys were here for that, but I used to roll atrocious looking cigarettes. I was made fun of left and right, and respectably so, you know. I understand why. I made fun of myself as well, but I've come a long way. And not only am I more efficient in the time I take to roll, but I'm also more efficient in the roll itself. It just isn't all loose anymore, and I'm not just smoking paper and air, so I've come a long way. I don't exactly know why it is, what the science behind it is, but smoking after a full meal just hits very, very different. I never smoke on an empty stomach because I know that's path number one to get nicotine sickness, and so I always wait until I've had something to eat. But after a full, rich meal, it's just different. We can check my propagation here. She is doing very well. We have roots on roots, and we have little tiny new leaves sprouting in the water. I don't know if you can see that. She is so cute. My face looked very, very funny in the bottle there. I've just been enjoying making a lot more recipes at home now. I used to kind of always do the same recipes over and over, but I've been hanging out with my friends and we've been cooking together, and I've been learning a lot of new ways to approach food and cooking, and it's just really, really nice to assemble all of the ingredients and just do all of the steps, and at the end, when you're already quite hungry, to eat the meal that you've made feels very rewarding and satisfying. And so I've been cooking mainly all of the meals for me and my dad, and he really enjoys my cooking as well, which is very nice. And I usually just take this time after lunch, if I'm at home, to have a smoke and look out the window and ponder a little bit. I feel like my head has been feeling quite fast these past few days, maybe weeks, and I think it's because I've increased a little bit my consumption of social media, which is not very good. I was doing very well at keeping my consumption very low, less than an hour per day, but now I've been having some trouble sleeping, and I've been doing the worst possible thing, which is scroll through reels before I sleep, and then I'm just left with this kind of nausea and headache, and of course I don't sleep very well because of that, but it feels like I've been trying to feel the time that I'm quiet, because maybe there's something that I don't want to acknowledge, or maybe there are some thoughts that I'm running away from, and so I'm making an effort now to have some more quiet time where I'm just letting whatever thoughts want to come, and I can look at them and ponder if I want to indulge in them or just let them go, you know. And I think that's been quite nice. You know, mental health is probably the most non-linear thing ever, and so although I had been feeling a lot better over the past months, I feel like I've hit a little bit of a low right now, where I have more days in which I'm feeling a little bit down and a little bit anxious, you know, and running away from this doesn't help at all, and it doesn't make it better or make it go away. So what I have to do is just face it and think about what may be troubling me, and think about solutions if there are. If there are no solutions, then I need to work on letting go. Letting go, it has been something that I've been working on quite a lot over the past year. The other day I was having an interesting conversation with my friends, in which we were saying what we think is the worst quality about each other, and a lot of my friends said that one of my worst qualities is that I have a very, very difficult time letting go. And this is true. Sometimes I get haunted by certain situations, and I ruminate and overthink to a point of absolute exhaustion, and I try to look at all of the angles and everyone's perspectives, and sometimes it would just be better if I could just drop it and let it go and move on to the next thought that may come. And so I've been working on that a little bit more these days after having acknowledged that that's something that I feel like I should do so that my future self can have an easier time with life, you know. So yeah, I've just been thinking about what kinds of things could be helpful for me to do now so that me in a year, me in 2 years, will have other issues to deal with and not the same old issues repeating over and over, you know? I feel like it's important to acknowledge the things that you have difficulties with so that you stop repeating the same patterns and you create new ones. And, you know, you're going to have difficulties at all times, but if some have been resolved, then the new ones that appear are less charged because there's not a whole mountain to deal with. It's just a little pebble, you know? So anyway, I have finished my smoke after my lunch. There is some construction outside, which is not the most pleasant, but it's quite melodic, I think. And I will see you all very soon. Thank you so much for tuning in for this video, and I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. And that's it. Bye!